Okay, we're pumping up the cylinder here. So I got the air out of the actual cylinder itself, so now every time you push the piston down, it puts a load of fluid in the lines, and it brings back just a little bit of air. So you go down like that, and the fluid drops way down. So we're almost empty now. And you always double check to make sure there's no air coming back. Looks clean. So we go ahead and put some more fluid in there. So like I said, I got the hole in there so it bleeds out easily. See how it comes out where we want to. There. Make a big mess. Also keeps less air in the container. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and pump this some more. Now you can see each stroke the fluid drops. A little bit of air came back. Just go real slow with the paddle, don't get too carried away with it. So it looks like it quit dropping massive amounts now. That means the lines are getting kind of full. It's dropping a little bit, but not a lot. You'll see how it brings pressure back up as you push on it. That's a good sign. Fluid still is dropping though, so just keep pushing on it. And I'm getting a brake pedal now also, which is a good sign. Yeah, we got a brake pedal right there. And the fluid was still dropping. Give it a couple of shots, no air. You hear the springs back there. Okay, got no air. You see, we're not aerating anything by doing a bunch of real fast pumping. So when you're not doing fast pumping, you're just going real slow like this. You're putting raw fluid all the way through the whole line. You're not putting a lot of not putting air into it. You know, so as the fluid goes through the line, it shoves the air down the line, and it all goes in the back. Okay, so now we're ready to do a step on it, try to bleed it. Put the cover on it so it doesn't blow up in your face. So just put that up. It's kind of a two-man job, and I'm the only one here today, so it becomes a one-man job. My bleeder wrench in it. Figures. Bleeder wrench is not where it's supposed to be. What a shocker. Alright, so now we gotta come over here. Try to get some room in here. Okay, now to get access to here, we got to pull the chain guard up. So you got to loosen this one up. This is rubber mounted here in the front here, so it should just slide up, but I might have to loosen it too. We'll see. Pull this out. So it's a little tight up here, so I'm going to loosen this up. Of course, that takes a wrench. Okay, it lifts up freely now. Okay, so you gotta hold this up out of the air. So if I put like a little bungee right here, it should hold this up. So you go to the bungee cord here. Find something on the other side to hook it to. Hook it on something over here. Not sure what. Let's see if I go through this here. Doesn't work. Let's go through here, back here, and right back down to there. How's that? Perfect. And I can still rotate the tire. It's even better. I just hooked it right here, wrapped it around here, hooked on the bottom of the shock. Did a loop around the top here. Okay, so here's our bleeder right up in here. I'm just going to take a little small one, which I don't have with me. Oh, it is this one. Oh, and this was loose. I thought this was tight. It was just tight enough it wasn't letting fluid blow out of it. Alright. So now it's going to make a mess. That's my favorite thing to do anyways, make a mess. So you take an absorbent pad like this, tear off a piece, somehow try to collect this. Just going to go everywhere anyway. Alright, so whatever this doesn't collect goes on the ground. We're alright with that. Work that up later. Okay, this is probably going to blow everywhere when I do this. Okay, so now I get to stand up on the bike and do this. There we go. So this ought to make a nice mess. I'm sure it will. I'll try to limit the amount of damage it does. Okay. Wrench is not working at all. No room to get in there. Okay, we'll get a little standard wrench. Still very limited torque on that, but it's enough to do what we need to do for now. Alright. Try this again. And the wrench falls off. Wonderful. So I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. Ooh. Clean fluid. Looks like more clean fluid. Damn wrench. Access to get in this damn thing. Fluid. Keep pressure on it. Okay. There we go. And try to get on there and torque it. I'm like half on the damn thing. This is 6 points, one time you need a 12 point. Alright. Brake appears to be bled. I wasn't seeing any air at all coming out of it. We didn't make too big of a mess. Look at that. Amazing. I'm not covered with brake fluid either. It's even better. Okay, now we need to adjust the brake. Here it drags. Alright, so to adjust the brake, down here we can see better. You have these two eccentrics we got to deal with. Of course, one of them's behind the axle adjuster, which we have to take out to get to that one. So that requires two more wrenches I don't have over here. Okay, and all kinds of stuff with us. Okay, so first thing I gotta do is pull this off. So I'm gonna pop the nut loose, like that. Get the wrench out of there. And we get to unscrew this axle adjuster out of here. And if we're lucky, it'll clear this brake line, which I doubt if it will, because that'd make it too easy. Luckily, this is all unscrewing pretty easy, and the threads aren't tight. Of course, right after you say that, it'll get tight, right? And we're going to be right into that line before we get all the way through this. Yep. So without taking this off, we don't have access to it. We get one more tool. Take this clamp off. Disassemble the bike and do any adjustments back here. Okay, now you get the line out of the way, I can get the adjuster out. Of course, it stopped working easily because we're down to the last threads. Knew that was going to happen. Tight spot in there. Damn shock is in the way to make this easy. Fingers don't like to bend that way. Alright, now we got access to the bolt, or the eccentric I should say. Okay, this takes a square drive socket. Appears to be this one, whatever size that is. Looks like a 3/8. So it's a 3/8 8-point socket. Okay, now as we go down, it should engage the brake. Right there, there's a brake is right there. And this one over here should be the same thing. Brake is on. Okay, so I'm going to back this off just a little. Do the same on this one. Still drags a little bit. We'll go a little bit more right here. About that much. Same this. Now these turn opposite directions, so you got to keep track which direction you're going. A little bit further. We'll try to keep these as close as we can to the shoe. Okay, that's pretty good. Well, it's going to wear itself in anyway, so that was more than I really want it to be. Okay, so I'm gonna bring that back a little bit. Marginally difference in drag. Okay, we're gonna let the rear shoes burn in because they're all brand new stuff. So first ride, you're gonna burn this in quite a bit. Okay, so that's good there. So now you go on the other side of the bike. And let's see how the brake works. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit the brake pedal and hit the rear wheel at the same time. Stop, 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 stop. So it worked pretty good. So here's how much travel we got. That much. That much. That's it. Now, when you adjust these, see the piston right in here? See how it's right up against the clip? You want it to be right against the clip. Now see the free play in the pedal? See the push rod in there? Goes in about a 50th hour or so. Pin's coming out. So that's free play in the mechanism. And then the piston goes. So you want some free play. So you only got about that much free play. And then we got about that much more for the brake works. See, the free play is that much, and the brake is right after. It's about double the free play is what the brake is. So you barely touch these brakes, they're on. Now this is adjustable right here with this nut. You can put more or less free play in here depending on where you want this pedal to be. The spring is always going to put it up high here. Now if you want this pedal to sit down low, like down here, because your ankle doesn't work correctly, then you have to go down here, and you have a stop right up under here. And you can actually weld right on that stop so it hits higher up. Now you see how that's got a wear mark in it? It's already come up this much more from sitting, so it used to be here, now it's up here. And that's just from wear. So like I said, you can weld that up and change it. So it is adjustable kind of, just not easily, because it's done by welding. But it can be changed. So that's how you can play around with that stuff. Where'd my rag go? Okay, so right now, I'm happy with that. That works pretty good. Now you want to see if there's any air in the system. So you go until it hits, and you push as hard as you can. And see, it doesn't go very far. Now if you wait a couple seconds, you hit it, and you hit it real quick a couple times, air will pump up. So grab yourself a reference plane to look at. I'm looking right here where my finger is. So there's your first pump. And see, it didn't really come up hardly anything. See, let it sit, let the air equalize in the system. Hit it, hits my finger. And I'm just about on my finger again. So there's no air in the system, because if it had air, it would be a big difference in what it did. Now tomorrow this new plunger will come in, I'll readjust this. I'll probably give it just a little bit more free play, just in case your foot drags on this for some stupid reason. You don't want to have your brakes on. So I'll probably get that just a little bit more free play. I'll have to pull this pedal back off to put the pin in from the back side. Or at least have it like this and have the cotter key on the back side where I don't have access to get to it. See how the cam cover's cut out in there for the pin to be in there. So, but I have to pull it apart to get to it. So it depends if you want to be able to work on it or not. Basically, you never go into this thing for anything, so it can be on the inside. And then we got to put our booty on here, which was sitting right here. This goes right across, right on top of there. Tripod can't move up. So anyway, this goes on here, it clicks on around that edge right there, the lip. And that keeps the dirt and crap out of your mouth cylinder. So we'll play with that a little bit. Now I am getting a little bit of drip, drip, drip right down here. So we have a little bit of fluid leakage here. Yep, get up higher, we can see it. So this is leaking slightly. Damn rag keeps disappearing. So is it coming out of the nut? No, it's coming out of the master cylinder. So it's leaking past the inverted flare down in there. So that thing was pretty tight in there, so I have to keep an eye on that. Because right now it's leaking a little bit. That's not good. So that's our first leak. We have to go around and check for other leaks. So you go around and check these connections over here. Put your finger down here, see if there's any liquid on their fingers anywhere. So you can't see in here, but you can get your fingers up in here. Everything seems to be dry under here. I was worried about some of these ones over here being leakers, but just try to get my finger in here anywhere. It appears to be okay. So you go up under here, look up under here. See, this is all dry. So that's all a plus. Over here is dry. All that's dry, and this is sort of dry because I cleaned it. Got a little bit of residue from me tightening it. So I'm gonna tighten that down, just to double check, but I think it's just from me bleeding it. Like I said, the fluid all came out over here, so you expect this is gonna have a little bit of moisture over here. You have to brake, clean it all off, make sure it's all dry. Then you come back here after you ride the bike and check it again. If it's wet again, then you know there's a problem. If it stays dry, you're fine. That's pretty tight. So I think that was just residue. Okay, that appears to be dry. So we're up here. To get this all wiped off. Wipe off as much as I can. So it's hard to get up underside in here and do anything with that really. Okay. And there was probably a rubber little cap that went on there that I don't see right now. Probably one of these ones right here. So we'll go ahead and put that up on there. That keeps the dirt and stuff from coming into the cylinder. Okay, that's all capped off. Okay, so now we go ahead and put the chain guard back on here and get this all set back up. So, first thing I do is get the adjuster screw in there, which is right here. It's easier to get that done right now than later, so get the cable out of the way here. I got just enough brake fluid on my fingers to make everything slimy. There we go. Chain's adjusted pretty good still. Now we go through the hard part. Okay, we go until the adjuster hits. We're going to jam that down. The adjuster should be on its flat, which it is. We hold the adjuster where it belongs and tighten up the jam nut. Okay. Tight. Okay, we got the screw right here to put in. It takes longer to adjust the brakes this way, but it's easier. Trying to do this with a crescent wrench here, it's really hard to get in there and get a good feel. And you see I barely move the wrench when I tighten it, so, or adjust it. Okay, undo our fancy dancy holding fixture here. Put a little blue Loctite on this bolt here. work it good. This one I gotta use a box wrench on it down here. And torque that one pretty good. Alright, everything's tight. Nothing's dragging except the shoes. So that's good. Alright, so that's all back together. So looks all pretty good. Go back over here. Figure where the fluid's coming from. It's dripping fluid up from behind. Coming from under here. It's on the inside of the backing plates coming down, I guess. So I have to give me a little brake clean and give it a little squirt up in there or something. Or just let it slowly drip out. You can see that's how it was done before. See all the fluid in here? See the dot 3 and 4 heats up everything. The 5 doesn't do anything. It just drips down. Wipe off the excess, you're done. Alright, so that's pretty clean. I'm not going to worry about that too much. Alright, so we got to worry about this up here a little bit. So, like I said, I don't like that per se leaking there. I also can't tighten that very much. I'm going to split that nut because I've already got it pretty stinking tight. So what I can do is I can go back and forth a few times. Like this. Try to get more pressure on it. Kind of form fit it. Alright. Hopefully that's going to stop leaking. Okay, wipe it down. Make sure it's dry. It's dry. Another shot. Okay, looks like that did the trick. So all that back and forth jerking with a wrench, each time you come back and jerk it tight, it compresses, 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 and it knocks the chrome layer that's on there down. Now it's not leaking. At least that's my theory. I'm going to stick with my theory. Sounds good to me. Okay, we pull this back up, see how much fluid we lost. So we didn't lose too much. See how you got the good flow of fluid coming back up like that? So until the piston covers that hole up, it blows through the hole that the air comes out of it, blows fluid out. That's what you want to see. That means there's no air in the system. Because they know you don't do that if you got air in the system. Alright. So go ahead and top this off now with some more fluid. So just put a little bit in there. Leave a little bit of an air gap. Not too much, but a little bit. That's enough. Helps to have a little bit of airspace. So I'm about 3/16 below the top of the threads there. These are pretty big reservoirs, so that's plenty of fluid. Get this on there. Of course, it doesn't want to start. There it goes. So don't force it. Just find the sweet spot. Okay, get this thing covered up as soon as you can. I don't like oily bottles, so I wipe everything down before I put the lids on. That's just me. Okay, now we go ahead and give it the appropriate torque. So you grab about your 12-inch crescents, you got plenty of power. About that much. You feel the gasket squeezing a little bit, that's what you want. To get that wiped off. Whenever the owner shows up, that's his job. He's supposed to be showing up, but he hasn't been, so maybe watch the video and say, hey, where you at? Come work on your bike. He's supposed to be helping, not me doing everything. Alright, so we got this all handled here. I don't feel like opening it up and smelling fumes at night, so I'll start this up tomorrow and see if it runs good or not. If not, I'll have to deal with the carburetor. So, but we got this side of the bike done. Like I said, this will come in tomorrow and I can change this out. And then we got to get the footboard on the other side, which is laying over there. That's got to go on this side of the bike, and got to get the owner up on top of the seat. We're going to use the buddy seat, not the solo seat here. And we got to adjust this pedal for his foot so he can ride the bike. And then once that's all adjusted, I can get to mount all this stuff for real, because all this stuff's unadjusted. And I ordered up another fuel line because this one's got a pretty heavy kink right here. This is a custom made line, and I don't like how it's a sharp kink there, so we might have some fuel flow issues down the road. So we're going to replace this out too. So we just kind of fixed all the little stuff that we come across. And everything that looks bad, change it. We're also going to change out the battery cable here, starter cable, to better quality. So we get more cranking power and less heat. We're getting a lot of heat right now on this cable here when we use a starter. That means you got a lot of resistance, which will burn up things. So we're going to change that cable out there too. And we're going to stay with a small battery though. All right, so that's about it for now. We'll work on something else.